So a lot of events in downtown Springfield, and some of those events getting some promotional dollars from the City of Springfield's Visitors and Convention Bureau, Visit Springfield. We had some of those events just recently. Of course, Juneteenth last month. You had the Capital City Celebration downtown Springfield over 2 days over the holiday weekend, and a whole bunch more of events coming up. It's exciting to talk about, and looking forward to hearing even more. And especially how we've got the big blowout event of celebrating a 100-year anniversary of the Route 66 historic roadway, and City of Springfield stepping up to help with that, as is the state of Illinois with some grants to go towards promotion and just making the event altogether a huge deal. To talk about some of those details and the particulars here is the director of the Springfield Convention and Visitors Bureau, Visit Springfield's Scott Dahl. Scott, thanks for taking time with us this morning with Springfield's Morning News. We've got a lot of just great events going on, and the city's tourism bureau is stepping up. What's going on?
Thanks, Greg. Appreciate you having me on. And absolutely, we just wrapped up a huge weekend, right? July 4th weekend, and ginormous June as well. We had the busiest convention month in the last 10 years in the month of June.
That's fantastic, especially after the past 2.5 years. Early in 2020, things were looking real good, but then the bottom dropped out thanks to COVID and some of the policies enacted to essentially led to conventions not having conventions. And the economic impact of that definitely felt in 2020, but now you're saying we're bouncing back in fine style?
We are. It looks like pre-pandemic levels on the tourism side, and I can't thank the team enough, the Visit Springfield team enough. They rearranged these dates. They worked with the planners, the events, and we were really in front of it before they booked other locations. So certainly props to the Visit Springfield team.
So tell us what we've got coming up with the Route 66 celebrations. When is that going to be, and how much are we talking about helping fund and get things all in the right place?
Yeah, so we're looking ahead to 2026. It'll be the Mother Road Centennial, and we're gearing up towards that. And thankfully to Senator Doris Turner, who sponsored a bill in the state's FY22. That would include $4 million for Route 66 projects, only for certified bureaus, Convention and Visitors Bureaus, by the way. We were able to apply for that, and a couple weeks ago, we received $1.1 million for 2 projects inside the city of Springfield.
That's nothing to sneeze at, Scott. $1.1 million is going to go a long way. What are those funds going to ultimately be used for?
And the beauty is it's no match. So we're not having to give up dollars to get dollars. This is straight funding. And there's 2 projects. There's the Illinois State Fairgrounds Route 66 Experience. This is being led by the Illinois Route 66 Scenic Byway. And a new component through our friends at Route History. It'll be the Route History Metaverse experience. That'll bring visitors and residents down the path of the African-American traveler on Route 66 from a virtual reality standpoint. So you'll go to Route History, which is located at 8th and Cook, and you'll put on the goggles and you'll get a visit locations that the African-American traveler would have been visiting with the Green Book through the 1930s, 40s, 50s, 60s.
It's an iconic roadway. It is the Mother Road, Route 66. And you said we're going to have this big celebration in 2026. So we've got a good amount of time here to get everything in its right place. Do you anticipate more funding coming down the pike here?
We do. Yeah, we anticipate some additional funding in FY23, which is state's fiscal year just started. So there is some allocation, and we're looking ahead towards more projects that we can put out there and receive that funding for. We'll get the subrecipient agreements through City Council. We appreciate the City Council's efforts there as well, and work with these 2 entities. But exciting times, tying Route 66 directly with Abraham Lincoln. And of course, we have sports tourism that's on the brink, and we're really going to have 3 markets in Springfield that's going to push us, I believe, towards record tourism numbers.
We're talking with Scott Dahl. He is the director of the Springfield Convention and Visitors Bureau. Visit Springfield and all the things they've got lined up. $1.1 million state grant that's coming to Springfield to help fund Route 66 celebrations, and a couple of ordinances that are up for consideration of the Springfield City Council. Talk about those and how much more additional dollars that's going to bring to these projects.
Yeah, and those complement the grant agreement that the City Council approved on emergency passage just a couple weeks ago. So these are kind of the housekeeping side of it. These subrecipient agreements with the Illinois Route 66 Scenic Byway and Route History, they're really going to drive these two components of the grant. So, we're the conduit that connects these components together and really these projects. So we're happy to do that. But it comes down to the Route 66 Scenic Byway, which, by the way, received their own grant for the experience at Gate 2. So they'll get to Phase 2, and that phase will be done. And that's a $2 million investment for a self-guided tour at Gate 2, which will eventually tie into, of course, the giant slide, the slide down 66, and what we hope will be Happy Hollow being included in the State Fairgrounds Master Plan. I call that the trifecta, and I think with those three items lining up, you'll see hundreds of thousands of new visitors in the next 4 years visiting that Gate 2 area.
Well, and this is something, too, again, we're revving up to get ready for the 100-year anniversary of the Mother Road. And this is something that it's not just going to be for that one event, right? I mean, this is something that's going to be a permanent type of operation moving forward in the years ahead, right?
Absolutely, Greg. Will be year-round, self-guided. The Legend Neon Sign Park will really be the standout of this Gate 2, but there'll be decade time capsules where you'll be able to move through, and again, in a self-guided experience, the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s of Route 66. There will be a drive-in theater. I think this is one of the coolest. It was originally a playground, and the folks at A Sign Company came up with this drive-in movie theater. We'll have a large digital watchfire board that we can play movies, or you can have advertisements, or whatever it may be. You can put that up on the board, and then they'll have framed out cars that you'll be able to slide into, and either watch the movies or take photos or climb around or whatever it may be. And I think it's going to be an interesting experience for people coming through and part of that Gate 2 area.
Well, I think it sounds enticing, not just for young people, but even for old people as well. Looking forward to seeing all this come together. Scott Dahl with the Convention and Visitors Bureau for Visit Springfield. Here briefly, you did mention it, sports tourism. What's the status on the complex, and when are we going to be seeing the first pitch thrown, so to speak?
Well, the developers were in front of the City Council a couple weeks ago, and they're steps away from the finish line. We do expect a groundbreaking before Labor Day, and it could be as early as the next 30 days. There'll be a groundbreaking. We expect them to go vertical this fall, late fall, on the Air Dome portion of the complex, followed up with work going on with the outdoor multi-purpose fields. The Air Dome opened in the fall or winter of 2023, with the outdoor fields being open and having teams playing on them in spring of 24.
So a lot of things coming.
Absolutely, Greg. A lot of things that are going to tie into what we're doing, and these are intentional. We're playing the long game, and these are strategic moves that we're making to position Springfield the best we can to not only moving towards the 100th anniversary of Route 66, but really, put our place as a true destination city.
Laying that road down for future events and future tourism coming to the city of Springfield. Greatly appreciate your time as always, Scott, and we'll talk again in the near future, all right?
As well. Thanks, Greg.
It is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield.